Hi, in today's video I want to show you how to never have to deal with neck or shoulder pain again. It doesn't matter whether your neck and shoulder pain is from stress, tension, injuries, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. This is going to help you to decrease the pain in a very short amount of time, and it's something you can do very, very easily. The neck and shoulders show up on the face in several areas, so it's going to be three main areas. Here, kind of in the corners of the forehead. In between your eyebrows. I have these two lines here. This is definitely a sign that you carry tension in your neck and shoulders. And then also where the top of the ear meets the face. I'm also going to go over some organ points that are associated with neck and shoulder pain and tension, and we're going to talk about that, and I'll show you a couple of other points that are also great for releasing tension. So we'll start off in this area. So this is going to be low back, coming up to mid back, upper back, and then in this area, kind of where the corners of the forehead are. Some people have a larger area, some people have a smaller area. This is going to be an area specifically for the neck and shoulders. Come in here, you're going to do circles, you can do back and forth motions, you can do up and down motions, whatever it is, and no matter how large this area is, just cover it with your magic wand. Nice and slow. Feel areas that feel tension, that feel lumpy or bumpy, that feel sore. Take your time exploring this area. This is a very common area for people to have some tension in when they carry pain or tension in their neck and shoulders. I have a funny story about this area. I was working on a guy at a party once, and he was kind of asking me what I did for a living, and I was telling him about facial reflexology, and he was like, oh, maybe you can help me. He wasn't able to move his shoulders. So he wasn't able to move his shoulders more than like just a little bit from the side of his from his waist. And I was like, well, surely you had an injury or you had something happen. And he's like, no, nothing happened. He's like, didn't have an injury or anything. It's just slowly getting weaker and weaker, and I'm just not able to like lift my arm. Well, I felt in this area on the same side that he couldn't move his arm, and it was super lumpy and bumpy, and he had a Mohs procedure, so he had skin cancer in this area. They went in and they dig out the skin cancer until the biopsy comes out negative. And I worked all of his shoulder points and did all the things in this video, but just noticing that this place was super lumpy and bumpy, and when I asked him about that, he told me about the Mohs procedure, but after I worked on him just for a few minutes, he was able to move his arm all the way up to his shoulder. So that's how powerful this work is, but also if you have scar tissue or things like that on your face, that can affect the nervous system and other parts of your body. Okay, now we're going to come in and we're going to work in the center of the forehead, so between the brow and the hairline and about 2/3 of the way back. You can just do some back and forth motions here. These are areas that are going to be for the spleen on the left and the gallbladder on the right. If you have right shoulder pain, it is often related to the gallbladder. And then your body is saying that you need to eat more fat. Fat is very good for reducing pain and is also good for supporting your nervous system. And particularly the type of fat that you want to eat is animal-based fats. Things like tallow, lard, butter, high-fat meats. And if you have pain on your left side more than your right, then it's related to the spleen. And the spleen is about making and preserving your red blood cells, and the best way to make new red blood cells is by eating red meat. So steak, buffalo, sheep, goats, anything that's a ruminant animal is really, really good for helping your body to produce more red blood cells. Then we're going to work this area in between the brows. And this whole area here is going to be related to the shoulders and the neck. So again, just explore with your magic wand, nice and slowly. Where do you have some tension, pain, lumpiness, bumpiness? If you have the 11 lines, the frown lines, the lion lines, whatever they're called, that is definitely a sign that this is an area that needs some extra love and attention. You can also separate those lines and work back and forth. I have pretty much always had these lines, and these lines indicate shoulder tension, and they can also indicate that you're holding some anger inwards. These lines used to be super, super deep for me. Now they're a little more superficial, which is nice. And I also notice that I have a lot less neck and shoulder pain on a consistent basis. used to have like tense shoulders, so anytime I got a massage therapist was like, how are you even functioning? And now it's actually not too bad. Then we're going to come down a little bit on the nose here, a little bit lower than between your eyes, and this is an area that releases the diaphragm. Helps you to breathe more easily. When you have a lot of neck and shoulder pain, a lot of times we don't breathe easily. A lot of times we are breathing more shallowly, and this just helps to release that diaphragm so they're breathing more easily and helps to relax the shoulders as well. Then we're going to move in and work underneath of the eyes on both sides. This is an area that's going to be associated with the front part of the shoulders. So if you have shoulders and neck pain, even the back, a lot of times we want to release this front part of the shoulders as well, because that can contribute to pain, it can contribute to tension. So working this whole area on both sides. This area is very relaxing. You might notice that as you're doing this, that you just kind of feel your body relax and feel better. It's also really good for reducing anxiety. A lot of time when we have neck and shoulder pain, we do have some extra anxiety that goes along with the tension that we're carrying in our body. So this can be a really good point to work for releasing that. And it just feels really good. Okay, next we're going to work the lower cheek areas on both sides. On one side we're going to be getting the liver and the gallbladder. That's going to be on the right hand side. So coming in here. This probably looks like the left side to you, but I'm actually working the right. But it doesn't matter, because on the other side we're going to be working the stomach and the spleen. Remembering that the right side is related to right shoulder pain and the left side is related to left shoulder pain. If you tend to have more left neck and shoulder pain, it's probably related to the spleen and the stomach. And again, you want to eat more protein, especially red meat. If you're having more right shoulder pain, that's related to the liver and the gallbladder, and your body is craving animal fats, egg yolks, butter, fatty meats, things like that. Okay, then we're going to come and work on either side of the upper chin. This is a point that releases any sort of neck pain. So any neck is a narrowing, so this is also really good for like your pain in your period, having to do with like your cervix is a narrowing of your uterus. It can have to do with wrist pain, being your wrist is a neck of your arm, or ankle pain, but also for your neck, which is what we're working. This is a really good one if you're carrying any tension in there, and I can actually feel mine is pretty tense right now, so I'm doing some extra work there. And then finally we're going to work point 16. This is where the top of the ear meets the face. And this is another neck and shoulder area, and we're going to go from here, so working this really well. You can work this whole area in here to circling the ear. So at the end of any protocol, we want to circle the ears. This sets the formula in, helps it to last longer. Now, if you're experiencing an injury or anything like that, and that's causing your neck and shoulder pain, you can do this up to 4 times a day. If you just tend to carry tension in your neck and shoulders, then you may just want to do this a couple times a day. If you have frozen shoulder or things like that, maybe this is something you want to do a couple times a day as well. And then anytime you wake up with neck and shoulder pain, particularly if you can't move your neck and it's super painful, start doing this right away, and I bet you'll notice that you have more movement almost immediately. This is really, really, really effective. And it's a great way to work it without even getting in and grinding on the muscles, which sometimes can make it worse. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below on what you noticed, if you felt better immediately, or if you had to do it a couple times before you noticed feeling better. But you can have this at your fingertips anytime that you have neck and shoulder pain, and I think you'll begin to notice that you have a lot less after doing this regularly.